things first, you already win. You already him, you don't gotta pretend. Fuck them, you already king. You stay real, you confident in your skin. It's all now, sit in the power that you already in. This the story of a master from a true Bedouin, far away from home than few ever been. First round pick, league of the smooth gentleman. The game rigged like 50 said it's a cruel sentiment. I'm from the era when lyrics and bars is over everything. 5-star veteran. You couldn't walk in my fucking shoes or carry them. Excuse my borderline is very thin. Married to the game like ever since. Maybe 2010 I realized most of y'all not serious.
Point blank period.
Twist next like cherry stems. Thought he was buried, but there he is, a new narrative.
Yo. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? We did it! We did it! Applause! Jackpot! It's episode 100, yo.
What?
We made it to the 100th episode of Hop In the Season. Absolutely crazy. Oh my goodness.
Whoa,
Yeah,
congratulations.
Thank you.
OMG.
Started this,
How do you?
what, years
Wow.
ago? Yeah.
Not even years. I mean, like years, but like 2 years. Not even like a lot of years.
Yeah, not a ton of years,
Not
but
a ton of years,
yeah.
babe.
I'm amped. This is crazy. 100 eps and covered a lot of ground, talked about a lot of stuff, yo.
Was your first episode the one where you did the Noam Chomsky one?
I think that counts as the first episode.
I think so.
First episode was the what is it? Manufacturing reality episode.
Zeb!
Hey Zeb, what up? What up? What up? What up? Yeah, man. Joyous. We made it to 100, man. And this is also 30 for 30. I think today is day 17 on the 30 for 30 episodes in 30 days. And it's been good, yo.
Yeah, you've been doing good. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
You had an idea of what you wanted to do. You're like, I'm going to give myself this space,
Mhm.
30 days, 30 minutes a day. And like, yeah, I like what you've been putting out, babe.
Thanks, homie.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. It's been nutty. Just, as you know, man, and just free myself up. Sheba knows how many interesting conversations we have here in the crib. And
Yeah.
when it comes out afterwards on the show, it's about, it's funny how I find ways to like get around stuff, and then Sheba and I would talk about it, and you see it in your show and this and that, and so much stuff, so much evolution, so much freedom I've developed here, right, sitting at this desk talking to y'all. And so I really wanted to get you in here because I think you're like the executive producer of the show on the low, so it's a good look.
Executive.
Yeah,
love that.
it's a good look. It's been fun. What up?
Nothing.
What up? Oh
Uh,
my goodness.
yeah, thank you. Honored to be on the.
Yeah.
Was it? I was going to say the Billy Button show. Is that what it is?
It's not the Billy Button show.
Billy Button show one day.
How Billy sees it.
Yeah, how Billy sees it. I love it. Yeah, 100th episode. Congratulations.
Bro.
One hundo.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you. I mean, so yeah, let's jump in, man. We got about a half hour. There's really nothing going on in the world. There's really nothing really.
I know.
nothing-
Pretty slow,
slow world.
run of the mill week,
Yeah.
I would say. OMG.
Yeah.
Y'all. I feel like I was talking to, I got my nails done today, and my friend Lily, she was saying, oh, fuck. Not me. Hi, and forgot what I was.
No. What are you gonna say?
Oh,
Lily.
I like used my voice a lot this month.
Yes.
I feel like, and I've just been like
Yeah.
speaking up at work and just like, what do we have to lose anymore? It's like
There's nothing to lose. Everything's different. Everything's different.
it's gonna be 80 degrees in late October tomorrow. We might not make
wild.
it till November
wild,
4th. Yeah, we might just
I think we'll make it. I think we'll make it to November 4th.
burn
At
up.
the very least,
Yeah.
But do what feels right. Get into it, Get into it. Why
Yeah.
not? No, you've been using your voice. That's why I've been using my voice. And
I love it. Zeb says the consistency is so inspiring and then the content is empowering. Keep it up.
my man, thank you, girl. Thanks a lot.
Yeah,
Thanks a lot.
totally. Agreed. Concurred. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It Yeah, it helps inspire me. I love it.
I feel good. What's funny is like I'm noticing how during it I have all these like thoughts in my mind about what I'm saying and how I'm saying it, and am I saying it fast enough, and am I having dead space and da 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 da, and then I watch it later and I'm like, yo, this shit was fucking smooth
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
coherent, and it made sense, and you know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, this is a good look.
Even you're like, unsure, kind of like, was that even, you're just like pondering. It's still such a delight for the viewer,
Yeah,
I think.
I think so too. I think so too. I love going back and watching some of the episodes. That's
Yeah.
fucking great stuff. So profound thoughts and concepts and like difficult things, hopefully made simpler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. You're good at that.
Thanks a lot, babe.
I
Thanks a
mean,
lot.
yeah, totally. I'm just, reading the news. I'm just reading the, like,
Just reading the
telling you
news.
telling you what I see, like,
You someone on your show?
no, like, you were thanking me and I was just like, oh,
Oh,
I'm
you're
just
telling
being
them. Oh, you're
objective.
just giving them.
I made up a saying though. I will admit that.
I'm
Like,
like,
I don't think
here's-
that's a saying that people say
I was like,
yet.
what? Yeah. Some new shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, way to try some new shit on
Thank
air.
you.
Live. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Sheba's on this episode. It's a Sheba episode. So
New language, new stuff happens.
it's gonna
That's what
get
it is.
weird.
That's what it does, yo.
Yeah.
Yo, you've been one of the ways you've been using your voice actually is we have an election coming up in 5 or 6 days. And you've been going in on the election stuff, haven't you?
I have.
I found that I just find the thing just to start us off, I find this stuff incredibly boring. And I find that people are not talking to each other. People want what they want. They have an idea of what they want. They have their fears. They have their guy, their person.
Yeah.
They have their sense of like what the game is
Yeah.
and what the strictures are. And then they're just gonna say words to you about why
Yeah.
they're doing that.
Yeah. Absolutely. I feel like Americans were really like addicted to the spectacle of and the celebrity and the like pugilism, is that the word? And like you have your sides and it's just like so stupid. Like we're obviously already in a fascist dictatorship where no matter what we do, we cannot stop the murder of hundreds of thousands of people.
Wow.
It's like, wait a minute. I think maybe they're distracting us with this, like, obvious, like they're hiring all our best entertainers to like put on a show, and then like they're like, oh yeah, this is totally real. I'm like, okay.
Huh.
But and so I feel like I'm like, the kid who tells all the other kids that Santa Claus isn't real. I'm like, except it's adults.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, you idiots. They're murderers.
That's the weird thing. It's everybody knows Santa Claus isn't real, right? It's in this weird no man's land where people know it isn't real, but they still perform the rituals and still say the words, and they look around for everybody who's got the signs on the lawn and all that.
And they get like really like mad if you ruin the lie. If you're like, kids, this is not real, right? Like poor kids don't get Santa. Like that doesn't seem weird to anyone.
That's the strange thing about it, yeah.
But yeah, it's like we love in America, maybe like we love our myths, yo. We love our tooth fairies. We love
Everybody
our Christmas. We love our democracy myths. We love our myths of like who we are as like these like freedom loving people who like blah.
We absolutely do. Everybody loves their myths, right? I don't think it's an entirely American phenomenon, but the American myths are unique. And I think we're in a weird place now where the Democrats are supposed to be the morally upright party. They're the party, unlike the Republicans, they care about human life in a unique and special way, and they don't have the same hierarchies of like European whiteness, things like this. That's one of the myths. That's the Democrats.
Yeah.
Engaged in funding and diplomatic support of a genocide, and so like where do you go from there? Where do you go from there?
Yeah. Yeah. Like you're already like in hell. You've done like the like yeah, there's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
You gotta just like not play and do something else. Be like, this is not it, obviously. Like let's not focus so much of our energy on these people who are obviously performing
Yeah.
in order to trick us and exploit us and murder a bunch of people and make some money off of it.
It's all getting very tense, you know?
Yeah.
And all this stuff.
tense.
The problem is that there's so many storylines here. You know how, like, you watch, like, an NFL game, they got the storyline about the quarterback who used to play at the other team, but he wants revenge, and so they get you excited about this. And this one has so many storylines about Trump and about fascism and about Vice President Harris.
In the lift home, the radio was playing and they had like it was a DJ, but they were like talking about, you know, how what Kamala Harris's, you know, represents and stuff. And she's like, you know, we're not focusing on the past. We're like moving forward. Like they're doing this very like kind of an emotional pull, and that like Donald Trump is like trying to like, you know, just
It's the same stuff.
exactly. I'm like,
It's always the same stuff. It's always moving forward.
Yes.
Unless they don't want you to move forward, unless they want to look at something, unless they want
Yes.
to, like, you know, it's always the same stuff.
yeah.
I don't know who goes to these rallies. Like, I don't get the people who go to the rally.
According to my Facebook, couple people from my family and
Really?
general, like
To Kamala Harris already?
I'm like, it's embarrassing. You know, my family is very in the respectability politics, like I don't know, black brunch, middle class, like what is that like? You know,
Limousine liberals?
I don't know, but like black.
Black brunch. Yeah.
Yeah, like I wouldn't say they go in limousines, but like, you know, they brunch.
It just means, you know.
Yeah, you know, some of them with Spellman or whatever, you know, AKAs and / deltas. And like, you know, upstanding members of their churches and things, but also like full-throated support of serial killers.
Do you see at all the complexity of the moment that especially after it seems like even people I know who are died in the wool serious, like I haven't voted Democrat almost all my adult life.
Which is like really hot. You should do a sound effect for that.
Applause for that, yo. Applause for that.
That's crazy. Like even when you were a kid, like a child, like your first voting, like that's like way to resist that group think.
I already got like awareness about it, and I was working on Capitol Hill for several years. Just the timing of it.
Yeah.
My first time wasn't. It was like several years into adulthood, and I'd already seen some of the lies of Clinton and Obama, and gotten the correct sort of, I think, lens on it, the critique of it. But I know some dudes who had the same sense, who have the same serious critique of the two parties, who are now seeing the light, seeing the need to like proselytize that we move to the Democrats again.
Yeah, it's like a train
Particularly
coming
after
at
the New
you.
York thing, after the New York rally, that recent New York thing. I didn't even watch it, yo.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of clips. It was clearly like it's a sign of the times. This absurd, racist, like they're wide open. They don't have any fear of
Everything's
censorship
like
that they-
unmasked. Like you let a bunch of racists commit a horrific genocide and like with impunity, all the other racists are going to be like, well, I can say whatever I want at the very least. So
the Liberal Party is supposed to hold up that sense. This is supposed to be holding up notions of labor and labor power and working class values and peace and not war. They should be working towards, you know, a social safety net and all that. They've given all of that up. And my issue is that the people who are emphatic for Kamala at the moment don't care. They don't care at all.
yeah, they're just so afraid of Trump. Just like anything, they'll take anyone. And I'm like, are you sure that's like wise? Because Yeah,
narrative,
it's
yo.
so stupid. I hate even the idea like, Trump is going to take away, we won't have the right to protest. I'm like, and so what will you do? What will you do when you don't have the right to protest? Will you continue to not protest
That's the
as you
question.
are doing now
That's the question. Exactly.
under the favorable best case scenario?
Exactly.
Like, this is already how you act with free speech, with the right to protest, allegedly, with all of these rights, record number of anti-trans and anti-LGBT bills under y'all's people. Abortion ended under our guy. So I'm starting to suspect that maybe
Yeah.
the people who are friends with billionaires are not people we should trust. Oh,
Everything
and
is
who am I talking about?
different, yo. Everything's different, and it's people are presuming that everything's the same. People are
Exactly.
trying
Everything's
to
different.
recapture something that isn't there.
Mm-hmm.
Everything from conservatives trying to recapture some "Make America Great Again" thing to liberals trying to recapture this like post civil rights era notion of like a functioning
Forward.
government,
Yeah.
that government that is
Starting to atone, and like they're listening, and they understand, and we're
responding to
moving
people.
forward in
Everything's
the right
different.
direction. I was like, babes,
yeah.
we're going in like a weird circle.
Once you tell them, once you vote for them and validate
Yeah, the genocide's
anything
okay.
is, and
Yeah.
not just the genocide, but because part of what happens when you do something as absurd and evil as engage in a genocide and paying for and fund for it is never is the genocider gonna go, and by the way, tomorrow we're gonna keep genociding, and after that we're doing another genocide, and we're gonna do. It's the whole time the process is something about how wonderful they are. They have to perform
Yes.
normalcy. They have to perform goodness. This is true. Take any one in any historical moment, and it's the same thing. And so we're watching them like smile and laugh. We're watching them like actually commemorate anti-genocide days
Super crazy.
and commemorate like World War II and do all these things, and they have to just keep performing and lying right to our faces, and it's out. Just
It's
it
crazy.
blows my mind.
I'm just like, what am I seeing right now?
Yeah.
You guys would tell us if we are in some cosmic Truman Show-esque scenario, right? Where we're like the stars and like everything is crazy.
I think we are though. I think that's a weird, interesting thing. Just that as a metaphor, that cosmic Truman Show,
Yeah.
right? I think that's the other reason I'm not talking about this, right? And I come on here and I talk about other concepts of identity and love and separation, and like what I think about like philosophy and
Yeah.
sociology and some of these political machinations, how they get us to think about ourselves.
Yeah.
is how they're manipulating us to then vote for their thing. We have to actually evolve in a way that like in some ways it's already happened. What Israel is doing right now, 20 years ago, they get away with in a much more with a much more positive sense, and no one has a strong. Everyone
Yes.
kind of agrees that we have to
Yeah.
get rid of the terrorists, quote unquote. It takes an evolved political awareness, an evolved sense of humanity, an evolved
Morality,
discourse,
yeah.
an evolved intelligence, emotional intelligence, definitions of them and us, the human conception of like the fact that we have to coexist on this planet. When you evolve that, the arguments, they can't go up there and just make arguments about, every woman and child in that place is a terrorist. They can't do that.
Yeah.
They could have done that decades ago. They can't, and through social media, we get to speak and interact directly with actual journalists in these areas and people experiencing ethnic cleansing. And that evolves us in such a way that
Yeah.
the people, the party politicians, the hacks, the clowns, the media people, the pollsters, they're operating on something entirely different, right? They're still operating. They operate with the world based on these numbers and the statistics and different demographics, and we got to get the suburban whites and the women and the black women, and make sure you say something to the black men, Kamala, and China,
Yeah.
And we're beyond that.
We're humans. We understand. Yeah. It's
It's
not
like these pandering
Yeah.
words don't titillate in the same way. That's the kind of goal I think we should try to reach to.
Yeah, we're not trying to be like sold something or to be sold, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Um, we want, I just think the word that comes up to mind, it comes down to like a humanist perspective again, because but we're so far from there. I mean, I just saw, and Zeb, I'm gonna get to your question in a sec, bro. I just saw some stuff on Facebook. It was real troubling. Some woman that was murdered by her boyfriend. And, we talked about this early on in one of our first shows about domestic violence and, sexual assault and male female stuff. But the comments, the men in the comments, like adult men giving context and trying to like absolve the guy and explain away and put the blame on the dead female victim because she clearly this and that. It just blew my mind. And when I
Yeah.
click it, these are profiles of men with full profiles.
Who are really telling on themselves by their full-throated support of a murderer they know nothing about, except that he also happens to be a man. And it's like,
Total unawareness. But unawareness of like this, like I said, in order for that to happen, he has to evolve his definitions. He can't be regurgitating some like us, them. Like the setup is that women, that y'all are always,
so for me, I was like, what I've been doing a lot at work is like, kind of pattern disrupting.
Yeah.
Just like doing totally what you're kind of not supposed to do. And I feel like with men and with white people in many ways, like, oh fuck, what the fuck was I about to say?
pattern disrupt.
Pattern disrupt. Shit. Yeah. So these guys who think this way, who relate to murderers, still have friends, still have guys who are going to go get a beer with them, still have guys who are going to go to family dinners and, like holiday, like, so what incentive do they have to evolve their views if everyone leaves them to their shitty views?
Yeah.
So anyway, that's call to action for dudes.
To me, that what you're saying to me there, to rephrase it, is if we incorporate the full picture and we really say we want to elevate good people and define that, we want to be around good people and that we have the power to, we're not just, we don't just have to stick with somebody because you met them 10 years ago or whatever.
Yes.
Like to actually,
I'm not being held hostage by the choices I made when I was, a child or something. Like if a person is a murderer or a bad guy or just not, on the vibe anymore, like
we have a totally different set of is the notions of loyalty and things like that. Like it cuts against like sometimes being able to critique. This is the issue with Vice President Harris. People are in this moment unable to critique her. Before it was her, people were unable to critique Biden.
Yeah.
People watching Bernie, well, Biden, but weekend at Bernie's, they got him draped over their back pretending that he can speak, and people are like
so insane,
emphatically screaming, pro Biden 2024.
which is also crazy because he's like literally still the president and he's like sending so many bombs to murder so many people, and he's mentally unfit. He's like, obvious, it's elder abuse at this point. It's just crazy that. And I remember when Trump was president, everyone was like, oh, the 25th Amendment. Oh, he's like not fit. He's like not mentally fit. And now, how come I haven't heard anything about that?
It's just whatever stories, yo. Trump is himself largely unfit. Certain things he's saying, way he's speaking.
What does unfit mean?
Exactly.
To be
It's just
the
a
like
word. It's just a
head
word.
terrorist of our like really crazy, selfish, like murder colony.
The rails are off, man. Like they perfected the performance and became really adept at like, validating each other, in DC and all this stuff.
I think it's
and
a group
it's
of
completely
bullies who are like
goofy now.
Like intimidating everyone. And I think most people now have like nothing to lose. And they're like, all right, they're going to kill us and crush us, whether we speak or not. So I think it's always best to speak.
We gotta speak. Let's go to Zeb's question. He says, "My question is, how do we show people what a world beyond this looks like? There's so much dystopian media. Show me some utopian media."
Well, Zeb, I don't know if you know, I like to call our home, our house, Lure Utopia. Lure Utopia. Because, like, yeah, everyone always says, like, well, utopia doesn't exist. So I'm like, actually, I'm going to create it. And
Yeah.
it's this. It's, not an elected thing. And, it's like not a hierarchical thing. And it expands. It exists, like, for us and, like, the community.
Our home. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And yeah, I want it to be a space where, like, people are nurtured and, like, can play and be.
Yeah.
So
I think honestly, what we've been doing in the past year, 2 years, on some level, it's been massively entirely about me and entirely about you and about, like, our own growth and our own, like, testing our own abilities,
Mm-hmm.
but also it's been like, turn the camera on and, like, want to model authenticity and model genuineness. Not through, and the thing about that is, like, model immediately implies, like, some sort of an act, and but the goal is to really turn it on and not just be that, so be honest. And for me, it's been everything. It's been awkward to get into things with my family. It's getting into religion and faith, get into our sex life, our non-monogamous relationship, and to get comfortable there. I'm still not.
I know.
Still working on it.
You're like, our sex, our relation, our no, like, okay.
And so when you say utopian media, I don't know, it's just another word for, like, what exactly do we mean there? I think it means genuine, which then, or authentic, which includes challenges, which includes ugliness. It won't be, the traditional utopia of, like, everything is fine.
Like, that has nothing to do with me. That's something that, like, other people gave me, in the same way they gave me the idea of what democracy is, and the same idea of, like, all these other things. And I'm like, okay, my utopia is one in which we, like, I don't know, get to dream and create and, like, figure this thing out. And, like, So yeah, I feel like we're, as Dolly Parton says, figuring out who we are and doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people are craving, just, like, authenticity, and people who are just, like, being themselves, who can give other people permission to just be themselves. Like, it's okay. We're great. We're making this up as we go along. Like,
and I love like, to hit the 100th episode. I'm so proud. Yo, Zeb, thanks again, man. Like, the consistency comes from making it as simple as possible. Like this, I turn it on for an hour or a half hour, and there's no editing involved. After I turn it off, it's on, and it's just there. And I have this bit of content. So getting comfortable with that, and identifying with it as, like, just what it is. It's not a reach.
Yeah.
It's not an energy taker,
it's, like,
in any way.
Easy. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I feel like, you were saying about, like, how, like, we're kind of modeling whatever who we are, the world we want to see, kind of.
Yeah.
And it feels like, our instinct is to be like, like, I'm not performing, but, like, we as a culture, as a society, Americans, we love a performance. Like, we are inundated with entertainment, from birth. And so, like, that is how we take in stories a lot. And we are really I think, a story-based species, certainly a story-based culture. And, like, so we are taking part in, like, story creation and, like, future creation by, performing and modeling it. Yeah, we just happen to be.
Let it be weird. Let it be messy.
Yeah,
As
exactly.
Zeb says, it's messy still. I think some folks are afraid that it means giving up their personality and individuality.
Which is so wild, because I bet, like, those are people who, are like, okay, what are we wearing? What is everyone wearing? What is cool to wear? Like, where is everyone going? What are the cool vacation spots? Like, what are the, they're being told what to do constantly.
Yeah.
And so it's like, even the idea of, like, one's personality and individuality, like, I don't know.
But what, I don't even know what would, if you could go a little further, what would make them give up their personality and individuality? I think what I'm attempting is to like lean into personality and individuality, and for me it's
The
been a lot of
messiness.
yes, the places that are weird are exactly those places.
Yeah.
The places where for me it's a stomach tension. My stomach gets tense when I know I'm about to talk about something that I have to watch my words, whether it's a political thing and I want to be careful not to be offensive, or if it's a personal thing and I'm nervous, I have some voice in my head about, you know, careful sharing this stuff, you know, you look crazy, or people are judging. And so it's like
The inner police state.
Yeah.
That's like, like, nope, that's gonna, come back to bite you. Like someone's
Yeah.
gonna use this
Yeah,
against
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah.
Like someone's gonna think like, let them, babe. Like, please. They don't talk about people who are not interesting. Like,
yeah.
we're the protagonists. People are gonna talk about us. People are gonna want to know about our lives. And like the messiness, the like scars, the like stumbles, the like, that's what people love. That's what makes us human, and that's what
What makes us
connects
human.
us. Everyone knows what it's like to like want something and then like it not turn out the way you think, but then it turn out to be interesting in a different way. Like
Yeah.
people love that.
That's what makes us human.
Yeah.
That's what makes it real and authentic. It's just it's kind of a hard thing to even to pinpoint, because
Yeah.
there is like I think we don't escape the performance part. Like these are just words again, so like performance and authenticity, as if these are two opposites,
Yes.
if you can kind of sit in the awkwardness of the fact that your authenticity is a performance,
Yes.
and you've been performing it your whole life, but you've been responding to stimuli and like people telling you this and that
Yeah.
you can actually make it now make that, understand it, do it now with some intention and some awareness,
Yeah.
and that's gonna put you in a whole other plane. It's
Yeah.
gonna like really float you,
Truly, it like makes life and reality creation just like so much fun.
Yeah.
I'm doing like a Sheba performance. I'm doing like
That's right.
and it's fun.
and it evolves, and it's
Yeah.
completely different. I'm doing a Billy performance, and as I've said before, the Billy performance has ranged. I mean, I've been an athlete, I've been a news journalist, producer, I've been a animator, I've been a little kind of chill person, and behind the scenes person. And the last 2 years and going forward has been like, you know what, I'm gonna step forward. Actually, I've got some things to say.
Yeah.
All right, and I'm gonna put this face all up in your face, and I'm gonna say some stuff, yo.
Yes, give us a face. In love.
That's my blue steel.
Oh, yes. Here, like, let's see those. Wow. That eyebrow work. I mean, those eyebrows alone, I think, are going to keep us in rich clothing.
In what? Rich clothing?
I was trying to, like, think of what the phrase was. I don't know why the phrases aren't coming to me tonight.
Applause for that.
Thank
No
you.
worries. No worries. Okay. Yo, we what up? Oh, Zeb says the ways utopia has been depicted in the past has typically been bland and flat. They don't understand that our visions for the future allow for conflict. It's that. Yes, human.
And like humans, like what we do for pleasure is solve puzzles, go to escape rooms, have mysteries, watch horror movies, like what's fun for humans is conflict, tension,
Like
tension and release,
Yeah.
conflict and resolution.
Correct.
It's about this
Off
paradox
and
and
on.
like, and I think that's what utopia is.
All of it.
Not just constant tension like we have now.
Can you see that that's like a old, like you look at the old comedies, like the old comedies from the 50s, whatever, and you see how their comedy is like, wah, wah, wah. It's like
My wife.
banana peel slip, so and it's just, there's a texture of the reality of the conception of it. So the texture of our notion of utopia back then was a very simplistic like thing. Like for me growing up, I remember the notion of heaven sounded terrible to me.
Yes.
The old Christian sort of Baptist church notion where there's God and everyone's just sitting there on
Like
the
my
clouds.
grandma's there.
And we
I'm
just
like,
pray and we praise God all day forever and ever and ever. And we're just so happy and we're praising and singing, praising and praising Him. And we're so happy forever and it never ends.
that's
It
crazy to
never
me that like
ends.
some adults like think that though.
But that's like that's a theme park that's so obviously like this,
Like the worst
this
impact in the
thing.
world.
The worst theme park in fact,
Like-
but it's so simplistic. And if you have a simplistic notion of like utopia or joy or whatever, then you think that joy needs to be all the way down. But anyone who's really, if you live right? What happens when you realize that like you need off and on, you need contrast. There's something, the human condition requires it. If you just have too like everything, even water, too much water can kill you, but too much anything, I don't care what it is, orgasms, money, blah blah blah, like
I feel like we can experience so many sensations and things that like part of what makes it enjoyable is like I have so much joy all the time that like sometimes like that thing on my foot that like I'll step on it weird and it'll be really painful, and it's just like reminding me that like, oh man, there are times where I'm feeling so much pleasure and joy and it's so amazing, and like this time where I'm not, it sucks, but I know it's gonna go away and I'm gonna feel this other experience.
and contrast I think is a part of this. Contrast
Yeah,
is
I love a contrast, man.
you love it. You have to have it. It's not even like, you know what I'm saying, no one can say that they, whether they're paying attention to it or not, just even in terms of a picture, right? If you're looking at a picture and it's got white on one side and black on the other side, that's an insanely more interesting picture than just all one color. And then when you have more colors, then, you know, if you add the pixels, then you have like this screen where there's
Is this a metaphor for
multiple
humans?
things going on.
And how like I feel like Eurocentric kind of ideas of things are contrast is bad actually, and sameness is good, and anyone who is the contrast is the bad one, which I think is maybe intentionally done so that we don't understand that actually what's natural, what is contrast, and we're supposed to see the value in the contrast, you know, rather than see the contrast as a harmful thing we have to crush and, you know, dilute.
I mean, you go out and like we go to the yard and we have all the green stuff and everything's beautiful and all these plants and different flowers, and then you notice that one bright red flower, or that when the sparrow shows up and it's a bright orange and it's a complete, you notice it. You can't help it. The other day I had, you know, I'm not a hairy person too much, but I got some hair on here and I had this one white hair and I just noticed it. I've got hair all over my arm, but I noticed the white hair and I plucked it, and it was just like, so things like that, like honestly, and when I plucked it, I had this moment of like, man, contrast, you know what I mean? Like
maybe that, I mean, like, who knows what's going on here, but yeah, like sometimes the point of contrast is so you can notice it, you know?
Is to notice it, is to experience. It's just what it is. Wow, we went all over there. I love that.
Beautiful. I bet we're gonna look back and that's gonna be so fucking.
It's probably
brilliant.
gonna make a ton of sense right now. Honestly, I'm like, what? How did that happen? But I'm sure it made sense. I almost compared it to heaven. I'm glad you said that. I had the same joy.
Yeah, you know, any like heaven or utopia? Like let's what is it? Reverse appropriate, reverse gentrify, like all of these terms like utopia, heaven, like whatever some white man thinks is heaven is obviously probably not going to be ours. Okay, so we're going to have to start creating these utopian media, you know, like creating these visions, these dreams, these imaginings of what could be.
I love that.
Ooh, and maybe it's not even actually imaginings. I heard this thing about like when we dream, it's actually like the collective is dreaming through us. So like we're kind of dreaming for the collective. So anyway, we need all of your imagination.
We need the imagination. And the other thing I want to add to it is just a little philosophy joint, and we're gonna probably wrap up, is it's all one thing, for real, for real, for real, for real. All these things are concepts. The utopia is a concept, heaven is a concept, hell is a concept. It's all one thing right now. It is happening right now, both of them. The contrast of heaven, there are people experiencing, you know, achieving their dreams all over the world. Things that they dreamed about are being manifest in the world for them. And then there are other people who are being chased by drones and have the risk of being shredded to pieces at any moment. So it exists in both, all of it right now here, and we are all one thing. And so that's why I think like when you say utopia media, it is something like, it is about the authentic attempt at the now. It is the authentic expression of what is. On a personal level, there'd be a journalism which reaches back to like that core sense about giving language to reality. And then there's creative stuff that isn't journalism, that is like fictional stuff, but is also that also plays with our aspirations and is also authentic and genuine and multivariate and doesn't play on stereotype and doesn't play on like our cheapest stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So that's part of this like crazy vision. Things are gonna develop in the next couple of years. I'm excited for what we are gonna do personally, and I think for what develops more broadly. Yeah.
Especially because you get
what you're looking for. You see what you're looking for.
You see what you're looking for. That was
and
it.
you get what you're looking for.
Exactly.
And
yeah,
it really is all one thing.
So yeah,
right?
start looking for the ways in which our lives already are utopia.
Yes.
So that we can recognize it going forward, you know?
Yes, and I'm gonna leave us out, y'all, with the song I did with my wife here on the chorus.
Love you so much.
Who Am I?
Thank you.
By
Great episode.
Billy the Process. She a great episode, the 100th episode. I'll be back tomorrow. 30 for 30.
Yes.
It's obnoxious. Two black boys locking their fist. I hope you sit in shadow boxing
Peace.
it is. I hope you look and learn to laugh when it hits. I hope your passion persists. All the past pressure, pain is a gift. Fuck a fast lane. You gotta sit, pull over, no gas cane. Gain patience, master the split. Listen, my passengers lit. We gassed up like a cannabis hit. I'm steady laughing and shit. It's kinda funny how you amateurs spit. Cast off, throw caution to the wind. Blast off, your boy confident again. My dreams are final boss intense. I usually start shit, so pardon often, I'm off with trends. Awkward lens, see everything starts and ends. Niggas say they want that real shit but play pretend. It's paper thin, these boxes they place us in. I already left from the rooms you anxiously waiting in. I float silent like Ghost Walk. I blow sparks, smooth classics, Black Mozart. Just started already in GOAT talk. I'm so far out y'all league, listen, I need my own park. I'm so amazing, I'm powerful, so when I plant my seeds, the flowers will grow. I'm so amazing, powerful, yo. The present is a gift, how our time flows. I'm so amazing, I'm so amazing, I'm powerful, so when I plant my seeds, the flowers will grow. I'm so amazing, powerful, yo. The present is a gift, how our time flows. I rock low-key, clowns, they jock closely. Casually OP king since like 03. I live hopefully abundant on love mostly. Check my value blow, I net grossly. Man listen, that's the METHOD. I'm everywhere, y'all can't hold me. Do deep like oak trees. My jab speed leaving these clowns nosebleed like coke leaves. The boy magical, no sleeves. Y'all better get on board now. For the boat leaves, I'm so peak. They big mad, I proceed. Roll with a whole heap of stone cold freaks, they won't sleep. I learned the old rules and flipped it. I walk softly with a big dick. And fuck these bozos and dipshits. They whole style 3D printed. I'm vintage, y'all clones, what even is this shit? I run with all pros and misfits. Our thoughts all grown, for instance. It's Billy. I snipe down goals from distance. A maestro, my price just rose with interest. Look son, don't stress, stop it. It's all on time like clock ticks. You be truth, trust your gut, not these optics. They only play for reals on tactic. So who am I? I'm so amazing, I'm powerful, so when I plant my seeds, the flowers will grow. I'm so amazing, powerful, yo. The present is a gift, how our time flows. I'm so amazing, I'm so amazing, I'm powerful, so when I plant my seeds, the flowers will grow. I'm so amazing, powerful, yo. The present is a gift, how our time flows.